What's going on, guys? Welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, right here we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in film and television from around the world. So let's get on with the show. Now, Nigeria has one of the most prolific entertainment industries in the world. Streaming services such as Morocco and Showmax helped build an industry primed to take the best advantage of the Netflix expansion in Africa. VOA's Azuma Kampori has more.
They want your dad to turn it down.
Whether she produced or acted in it, you have probably seen her name attached to well over 30 movies streaming on Netflix. Nollywood superstar Omoni Oboli, like many other African filmmakers, have been involved with production from the continent that have acquired worldwide exposure thanks to the streaming service giant. She says getting your movie on Netflix is a game changer.
People were watching our movies all over the world, but most of it was piracy. Now our movies are available to the whole world, and they're available legally and financially beneficial to us. So I would say Netflix has come to open a different world to our movies. Not everyone is going to go to Festpac, or not everyone is going to go to Qatar. Not everyone is going to go to all those film festivals. But now, from the comfort of their homes, they now have access to you and your projects. So now they can reach out to you. Now they can say, you know what? I've seen this project. I like it. I want to do a remake of this project in my own country. I want to do a co-production deal with you on a sequel for this project, right? So before Netflix, we didn't have that.
Netflix coming into Africa, it's like a dream come true for us, because now we know that we have a platform that can take our films, no matter if we shoot in, it doesn't matter if we shoot in Africa, or we shoot in the US, or we shoot in Canada or Australia. We have a platform that can take our films to the global market.
Pascal Atuma is also a Nollywood veteran with numerous films under his belt. His latest one, Clash, was released last month on Netflix and talks about the journey of a young Nigerian Canadian looking for his biological father, only to find himself entangled between love and the reality of a multicultural society. Atuma says the movie is an exploration of the shock between cultures, something Omoni Oboli, who acts in it, says she has experienced firsthand.
I live in Canada and Nigeria, right? I see the clash of both cultures. My kids had to move from Nigeria to Canada, right? So I see that there is a whole world of difference. Their friends come into the house. I see the difference. As an African mom, I have to always tell myself, okay, it's different here. The kids are different. They behave differently. So you're from one extreme and the other people are from the other extreme. How do you balance this?
What are you doing here?
They're just kids. They're just hanging out.
Hanging out. They're just hanging out in the bedroom with
Relax.
my
Atuma says shooting Clash in Nigeria and Canada was a strategic move.
Calm down now.
So we wanted to show the Canadian government, in particular, that a movie led by Nigerian, directed by Nigerian, Canadian, produced by Nigerian, by the head producer, and produced with some Canadians, that we can combine to make progressive projects that can go global.
For many years, the Nigerian film industry has been among the world's top 3 film industries in terms of volume, next to the United States and India. And now, Netflix is giving it a new boost by commissioning more original content and becoming the dream deal for many producers. But what Oboli wants above all is to see more female directors and producers in Nollywood being recognized for their work with no criticism.
People would criticize what they can't understand. You're this little woman who's supposed to be in a little corner doing little things, and you're trying to do big things. So they're going to criticize it. It's okay. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not looking to them for validation. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I have a seat at the table, and no one is going to take it away from me.
With Netflix now looking to diversify its programming by adding more original content, Pascal Atuma says African producers are ready. They have the languages, the cultures, and most importantly, an international audience that has yet to discover all the African stories that will soon populate the small screens.
Is this how you're going to be? Coming here to mess everything up?
Come on, get to be his stuff. Bring everything short.
Now, when it comes to the Nigerian music industry, there is one artist who continues to go big. That is Wizkid. And it's been 10 years since the release of his album Superstar. So the music icon is celebrating with a new documentary called A Superstar Made in Lagos. Available on YouTube, the documentary is an inside look into Wizkid's life and music career, with a few friends and fellow musicians reflecting on the singer's career and undeniable talent. When Hollywood needs an authentic Victorian dress or Edwardian hat for a new movie, costume designers are likely to head to New York City to go straight to vintage collector Helen Uffner. The 72-year-old fashionista has provided clothing for over 1,000 movies, theater productions and fashion shows in the past 45 years. Nina Vishneva has the story, narrated by Anne Rice.
If you want to try it on.
A treasure trove of vintage clothing includes hats Rachel Brosnahan wore in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, the cardigan Tom Hanks sported in The Bridge of Spies, and the nightgown Angelina Jolie had on in the original Sin. More recent garb of note includes clothes lent to costume designers for U.S. vs. Billie Holiday and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which won an Oscar for Best Costume Design in 2021.
You'd have a camisole, you'd have bloomers, you would have a corset, you would have several layers of petticoats, and then the dress would go over you.
Helen Uffner is founder of Helen Uffner Vintage Clothing, the largest private collection of apparel from yesteryear in the US. Tens of thousands of clothing items and accessories span from the Victorian era to the bright neon of 1980s.
In 1982, Woody Allen was doing the movie Zelig, and he went into a boutique in Soho looking for 1920s clothing. So they came out to my apartment. I only had one rack. It was in the bedroom of me and my boyfriend at the time, and they bought everything I had.
Uffner started collecting vintage back when she was young. She would save money looking after the neighbors' babies. She started with vintage books, then switched to rings. Then came clothing. She says her love for vintage stems from a lack of family heirlooms. During Second World War, her parents fled Poland and came to Belgium. Most of her family died in concentration camps.
I love old things. They speak to me. You know, they have a history, somebody loved them at one time. I'm not as interested in new fashion.
She would find vintage gems and sell them, but the more she hunted down unique pieces, the less she wanted to part with them. That's when she started renting out her precious possessions to costume designers, directors, fashion show organizers. After the filming comes to an end, actors are supposed to return the clothing they used, but sometimes they don't.
We supplied a lot of things to the Irishman, and two of the things we supplied were for Robert De Niro. It was a pair of pajamas, and I think there's a scene where he's in pajamas all the time, and a robe. But we didn't get it back.
Clothing is subject to wear and tear on set. The Titanic crew couldn't guarantee they would be able to return all pieces intact, and Uffner decided not to risk it.
So I didn't do the movie. And later I found out that they had a lot of ruined items.
Broadway, Hollywood, TV studios, and fashion shows. Demand is high for Uffner's precious collection. For 45 years, Uffner has played a critical role in 1,000 movies, theater productions, and other projects. Her passion for vintage earned her clients 4 Emmys and an Oscar, as well as a variety of other awards. The pandemic slowed business, which is now picking up again. Uffner's pieces are starting to get rented out, slowly and cautiously. For Nina Vishneva in New York, Anna Rice, VOA News.
And now for some fashion news, let's head to Congo Brazzaville, where 24-year-old model Jules Makoso joined an international fashion show to help break the stigma around albinism in the fashion world. This was Jules Makoso's first time on a fashion runway. And rehearsing for the show, he said that it had been a long road to get here.
It makes me proud of myself to know that I worked hard to get here. It wasn't an easy thing. It meant that I had to work a lot to get there. The result makes me feel good. It makes me happy to make proud my loved ones, my parents, those who support me.
Albino model Moni Love Mbanzulu has not allowed her condition to get in the way of her dreams.
I am really mentally prepared because since I was small, my father made me understand what kind of skin I have had. Often, even when I walk in the street, when I am provoked, these little clashes, it doesn't bother me. I'm already used to it.
Betty Yaka is promoting Moni Love and Jules and fighting albinism discrimination as manager of albino models.
When we met Moni and Jules, they really had difficulty finding a place among the models. And it's not just Moni and Jules, there are other albinos who have difficulty finding work. And our first objective was to help them familiarize themselves and find a place for them in society.
The fashion show theme was Under Mask, in light of what we have all been going through with COVID-19 pandemic. Moni Love was named its Female Talent of 2021.
That will be my strength. I don't think that I will give up again because originally I did not want to participate in this competition. I was not ready. It was my godmother who encouraged me, who gave me the strength to do it. So I'm really happy.
Now, for 14 years, viewers have kept up with the lives of the well-known Kardashian family on their reality hit series, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Now, the famous siblings and their momager, Kris Jenner, are saying goodbye with no regrets.
In the show's finale, Kim Kardashian says it has been the best decade and a half of her life, as the show wrapped with hugs for the TV crew and the burial of a time capsule. The show has chronicled the family's good times and bad, including Kim Kardashian's marriage to rapper Kanye West, sister Khloe Kardashian's split from former NBA player Lamar Odom, the business empires of Kim and half-sister Kylie, and Kendall Jenner's modeling career. Since its debut in 2007, the show has aired in more than 90 nations in 20 languages and has generated multiple spin-offs. While they are ending the show, the family has a deal for a new series on the streaming platform Hulu, and that is expected to launch later this year.
And before we say goodbye, let's head to Morocco, where young people are using breakdancing to break down barriers. Check it out. At a skate park in Casablanca, Hossein Ait Belbez choreographs his latest moves. The breakdancing group with the Lions has participated in a few national events and competitions. He told the Associated Press it is a means of expression.
Breakdancing is an art that allows us to express ourselves well in many things, especially the fact that we can be free, whether physically, mentally, or in other ways. We can get rid of restrictions. We can do whatever we want with our bodies, and we can express ourselves and what we feel.
Dancer Yassir Aitaga says it gives them a sense of freedom at a time when young Moroccans are facing challenges.
Breakdancing is a means to express ourselves. We can express ourselves and talk about our ideas with total freedom. Ideas related to the problems that the youth suffer from in Morocco, such as the psychological and social problems, all kinds of problems.
And while there are different styles of traditional dances in Morocco, Western dances such as breakdancing and hip-hop are becoming more and more popular. And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye everyone.